Hello, my name is Chanel Penn, and I am doing my presentation on the effectiveness of mentorship in adolescence. Before I begin, I want to invite all of you just to take a second and just close your eyes. I want you to just think back on when you were an adolescent. Maybe you're thinking of your favorite t-shirt, or what your bedroom looked like, or maybe who your best friends were. Now I want you to specifically look at some memories that you had. Maybe one of your favorite memories was going to one of your favorite concerts and feeling the bass hit your chest as if you were having a heart attack, and hearing the roaring crowd around you as they cheer for their favorite artist. Maybe one of your favorite memories also is fitting into those size 2 jeans that you just absolutely adored and made you just feel beautiful on the inside. And maybe for the rest of you, your favorite memory is just staying up till 2 a.m. talking with your best friend about life, about friends, about social events. Do you see it? Wasn't it exciting? Now, before you open your eyes, I want you guys to also reflect on some maybe not so good memories. And maybe those not so good memories are experiencing your first heartbreak and seeing yourself have that just can't breathe cry and those snotty nose tears. Maybe for some of you, it's having to say no to some temptations such as alcohol, substance abuse, or sex. And maybe some of you didn't say no. And maybe for the rest of you is experiencing that pressure and that stress of knowing what you're going to do after high school by parents, guidance counselors, teachers, and pretty much any adult that comes your way. Wasn't it painful? Wasn't it hard? How'd you feel? Now I want you to open your eyes. Adolescence is hard. Yeah, it's great. It has its ups, but it also has its downs. Now, what if I told you there was a way to help adolescents today not experience those heartaches and those pains, or at least at a lower capacity than maybe some of you have? Wouldn't we want that? The answer is mentorship. Now, an adult mentor looks like this. Like I said, they're an adult. They're a non-parental adult that gives the adolescent advice, morals, and just support as they face life stressors. They're there for them, loving them, encouraging them, that they can be the best person that they want to be. So many of you are asking, okay, yeah, that sounds great, but why is there a need for this? Why do we need mentorship? Well, currently, as of 2009, the U.S. Census Bureau recorded that there are 40,747,962 adolescents in the United States today. That makes about 14% of the total United States population. That's almost a quarter. Now, a quarter may not seem big to you, but that's a significant amount of our population. And there are 40 million adolescents out there that are faced with stressors such as depression, sex, or depression. And there's no one there to guide them or help them as they face these struggles. So like I said, some stressors that adolescents face are depression, substance abuse, and sexual intimacy. Now when I say sexual intimacy, I'm talking about pornography. I'm talking about sexual content on the television or TV shows. And I'm talking about sexual interaction. So that might be sexting on social media. That might be the physical contact of sex, emotional sex. It's just the widespread of any interaction with sex. So first, looking at depression. Depression currently in the United States is the most diagnosed mental illness today. Also, 10 to 15% of adolescents are diagnosed with depression today. Now, studies didn't see any correlation between whether males or females are more depressed than the other or more likely to be depressed. Rather, they found that females are more likely to attempt suicide, but males are more likely to be successful with their suicide because they use more I guess, bigger items to complete suicide, such as weapons such as guns, knives, or ropes. Looking at substance use, and when I talk about substance use or abuse, it's things such as alcohol, illegal drugs, or pill popping, and etc. 1 out of 4 adolescents are using one of these items, substance use. Most of them are using alcohol as an escape to maybe life stressors as parents' pressures, sports, or many other things that adolescents face. And lastly, the last stressor is sexual intimacy. Most adolescents have some type of sexual interaction with the opposite sex by the age of 17. 33% of all high school students have seen another one of their classmates naked, either by social media, by a physical copy of it, or by sexting. And 46% of adolescents have already engaged in sex. So like I said, what is an adult mentor? An adult mentor is someone that's willing to stand in the gap. Someone saying, hey, I'm here for you when you're going through things. Hey, I want to talk to you. I want to help you. The adolescence feels comfortable around them, and they can relate to them. They're supportive. They meet with the adolescents on a regular basis. It's not just I'll see you in a month. And they also give advice and guidance when they need it, and they help instill adult values into them as they make that successful transition into adulthood. So studies have shown that adolescents that are mentored do have lower depression scores, lower sexual intimacy scores, lower substance abuse scores, but also have higher academic achievement and higher self-esteem. So this is important. This is making a huge impact on adolescents today, and something that we need to really dig into and figure out how we can do this. But I love what the Bible says. It says in Proverbs 22:6, train children in the way they should go. When they grow old, they will not depart from this. God is calling us as Christians and as people in general to train up the next generation, to teach them morals and values, teach them to be men and women of God, so that when they grow up, they may not make all the best choices. They may make some poor choices, but they won't depart from that teaching that was given to them. They won't depart from that advice. But rather, when they get to be an adult, they will find an adolescent to pour those same values into them, and so it'll become a domino effect, that the next generation is always being trained up to be the best that they can be. So my encouragement for you is don't look at the problem, but look at the solution and solve this problem. And so many people are like, man, the adolescents today, they're getting in so much trouble. They're just nothing. They're going to prison. They're going to jail. They're teen pregnant. But we need to start looking at the problem and solve the problem. So I want to encourage you to become a mentor, whether that's in a church, in your neighborhood, being a coach, if you're a teacher looking after a student, or just joining a mentoring program. I love programs like Big Brothers, Big Sister, where they have currently 5,000 mentoring programs where they are reaching 3 million adolescents. That's amazing. But that only puts a small dent in that 40 million. Now, what if every adult was mentoring adolescents, or just one? That would just change the way people even look at adolescents. It could change generations to come. So my question for you today is, will you be the change for the next generation? If so, become a mentor. Thank you.